Okay, so start empty. I fired this up before and I was rambling and stuff because there's some new things. I wanted to make this more concise. So I wanted to point out from a VR developer, indie VR developer perspective, what makes this game so awesome. So now you kind of have an origin story, more so than in the original demo. You can tell it's different. And this game is just oozing with style. It has this surreal style, simple. And the music is fantastic. The guy who does the sound design, he liked my tweet that I was happy that I got this on Twitter. It's Scandinavian. They're both Scandinavian dudes. I think it's a two-man team. So I like to think of this game as the Mario 64 VR. So what was special about Mario 64? Well, Mario 64, was it the first 3D game? No. Why was it special? Let's take a look at this for a second. It's just assessing the environment. It's epic. The scale and that robot structure thing is awesome. I want to find out what it is. Right now I can't, but I just know it's awesome. So Mario 64 was special because of the fact it was on a console and they had the analog stick. It was just one analog stick, it wasn't DualShock, and it was with your thumb, and then you had all the other buttons, essentially, that you were used to on a Nintendo controller, Z replacing L when you were using the analog stick. So Mario 64, I mean, it may have been exactly designed with or for the analog stick. In this game, it's designed really for an Xbox controller and VR. As you can see, I'm snap turning right now, which works really well in this game because you have to do these quick maneuvers. The alternative is, how did I fuck that up? See if I can ninja up somehow. Almost. Okay, I'll fall. So you go back, you press Y, and you can give yourself a retry. So this game is perfect for VR and the Xbox controller, just a simple generic gamepad. So here's a checkpoint. Now when I press Y, I go back here, or when I fall off, or whatever. So, and it's okay with the mouse too. And the snap turning with this actually doesn't bother me. Usually snap turning kind of pisses me off, but you can turn on a cage. Let's actually see what this looks like. Solid cage. So it's like a cockpit. And I'm going to turn comfort turning off. So yaw turning with this cage is actually not as doesn't piss me off as much. What really pisses me off. Look at the other options again. Orb. I see. So it's like. Orb isn't too bad. That's good on them for finding that, but just this kind of really makes your, something about it in VR just kind of makes you fucking cross-eyed. And this is coming from a guy who worked on a jetpack game. That I was used to this. So looking up and doing this isn't as bad as completely looking, what is this, azimuth? Whatever the fuck you want. So, it wants me to wall jump. And that's what's cool about this game, is so you're stopped and you have a bit of acceleration before you're actually going forward. And same with stopping. And it really makes platforming, you have to be that much more precise. And one thing I'll show you about the acceleration is that it stops pretty quickly, and that's how I'm gonna leave it on yaw for a while. Maybe I'm already getting used to it. So a lot of people, so you kind of have to like anchor your eyes on something to make yaw not piss you off, make you cross-eyed. So with the acceleration, listen to the wind sound effects. You accelerate for maybe 2 solid seconds, and then the velocity clamps. See, so the physics aren't realistic, but that's really for the best. I mean, this game is not trying to be realistic. It's, in fact, properly trying to be surreal, like more VR games should be. And here is where the game becomes really the game. So this is left and right trigger. Just kind of spamming. And mostly your vector is forward. Like, these are way more force than you're ever gonna get from gravity in this game. So as you can tell, I just kind of fly forward. Boom. So you don't really Tarzan or Indiana Jones too much. In cases like what I just did, you kind of do, but it's not really the best strategy for getting across a map. Really, you want to do something like this, and then that, combined with ninja jumping. When you're in a, I call this ninja jumping, the wall jump really gives you speed real quick. It kind of reminds me of like a circle jump in Quake. You just go from almost nothing to top velocity pretty quick. Although, you know, Quake, it's not really, it doesn't really clamp it, but for all intents and purposes, so, as you can see there, I still have just regular mouse yaw on. Or mouse yaw, rather joystick. It's not snap turning. So, if you could make this quicker, it would actually be more acceptable. So here is the exit, and I want to share a few ideas I have on different ways of turning as we look at where we came from. So we came from that temple, the distance, and made it all the way here. This thing right there, not the far temple, that's where I got these babies, and then I just ninja'd all the way here. But so I still have the gamepad in my hand, and this is yaw. So, and something I did when I was developing Rocket Falls for the VR Jam is I had a turn, so you could look at this, and then you'd press it, and then you would snap turn instantly, and then my head would be like this, And when I straighten my head forward so my torso and head are aligned, I would be looking at where I was looking before I pressed the button. And I think it's better than snap turning in lots of cases and lots of games, because you look where you want to go. See, even in this game, when I look there, this is a new forward, even though I'm looking over my right shoulder. Right now I'm looking forward at what is my computer screen. So you turn your head and then you turn your body. Well, next best thing is, but I was just listening to a Voices of VR podcast where they used VR for physical therapy, and what they did is the proprioception of me. I'm turning my head. Let's call this is like, I don't know. So this is 45 degrees. This is maybe 30. He said he would have patients that had problems turning their neck. They would make it so that what looked like 5 degrees in VR, so like this, would actually be 10 degrees in real life. So that's kind of like an interesting use of proprioception in VR, because what might be kind of psychosomatic in the anticipation of pain, you get rid of that, because hey, I'm not turning my head that far, and then okay, ow, it kind of hurts, and lo and behold, I'm actually turning my head more than I typically ever would, and I'm being tricked. I'm not just blindfolded. So that's one thing. And then another idea I have is I don't have, I would love a Vive developer's kit or Oculus Touch, but now I have the mouse in my hand, as you can tell by, sorry, I'm pissing myself off. You can't lower the sensitivity in this game, so it's super high right now. But what the mouse is cool with is, with respect to VR, people, yeah, like this like pisses me off kind of right now, this jaw turning. But what doesn't piss me off is if you're just like, boom. You're essentially snap turning, except to where you want to go. Right? So the sensitivity is way too high for me to actually play. I tried earlier with the mouse, but so what does this mean once we have touch controls? Like, why do we care? Well, because the mouse and touch controls actually share a lot. Like, the mouse is a touch control on a plane. So if you are holding a touch control and you like squeeze it maybe, then it turns into rotating your body. So I can like slowly go like this and be like, oh yeah, turning is poison. But when you have this like, it would be way lower sensitivity than this fucking high sensitivity right now. So I imagine like hold your hand out forward and then move it to the other shoulder, right? So whichever one to the opposite shoulder. That's enough distance to where in real life you maybe turn like this if you did that in real life. So then you kind of feel like you're turning yourself, and I think that would be a good scheme for rotating. Fortunately, I can't try it. Anyone out there with touch controls, Vive or Secret Oculus Touch devs, give that a go, because I think that would work. And then the kind of special snap turning I think would work as well. So this has positional audio like the checkpoints do. And instead of being just a simple triangle like it was in the previous demo. It's now this cool, like, broken Triforce thing. And I looked earlier, the orbs that were just kind of like, I guess you compare them to coins or maybe red coins in Mario. They're now like these like tablets. So just want to point out a few more things. Just the way this game is stylized and the atmosphere. It's fucking wonderful. So this is just what I would throw someone in if they were like, hey, I want to play a VR game. I'm used to Xbox controllers. Throw me in something. And so I would say, here you go, have fun. This is the Mario 64, and anyone who played Mario 64 remembers there's a learning curve, and there's a learning curve to this game. There's a learning curve to VR. But it's not too bad. You can see the robot in the distance. I collected that earlier in my previous video, but I was just too caught off guard by the changes and just mumbling even more than I am now. But just the game design is fantastic, and this, I have no doubt, will be a launch title, and definitely can't wait to I'm actually probably even gonna just save this game for when I get my CV1 in March. I was a lucky few. I got it 5 minutes after pre-orders opened, which I think is actually pretty close because the white screen of death was there for a long time. So this is taken right out of the demo. I'm not blaming them. See, this is the coin. It makes the same sound even when you grab it. This is right out of the demo. So you can't grab the ground anymore, which is great. It makes the platforming harder because you could easily, I could have recovered from what was essentially a biff right there. Why do I hear that sound still? So, when in doubt, just ninja jump. Like, ninja jumping is really... See, right there. So... Oh, wow. Ew. Oh. It's the checkpoint making that sound, I guess. I guess. Oh, it's not a tablet. So you do have some good jump distance because gravity is pretty negligible. So jumping to this is no problem. I just have to make sure I don't overshoot it, actually. the real issue. And then this, I probably could have gone up, but when you're afraid, you want to anchor yourself. I was scared. So this, I'm not confident in this jump. I'm missing something. Okay. That's what it is. So this is the music from the demo, which is good. Good music. Oh, looks like my Xbox controller died for a second. That's annoying. Let's see if I can't do this with my mouse. Maybe it's just time to almost give it up here. It's like tally. Don't forget to bring a tablet. Well, my Xbox controller died, and forget it. Okay, so it has a bit more life in it, just enough to get this Triforce piece, whatever you want to call it. And there we go. So I think we started there. And there's one there and one there. So this is very reminiscent of the demo. Some Z fighting in the back, which, you know, some there too. Work in progress. But yeah, this game really is it's more safe to bundle Lucky's Tale, which looks super generic. Not trying to be a hater, but even as a kid, like I would have said the same. Well, I wouldn't have said generic. I would have said something else probably, but yeah, this game should almost be bundled with the CV1, but since it's not, it's a must-buy. And with touch controls, even more so.